What's up guys? Today I'm going to teach you how to install a Thrill Seeker seat cover. You're going to need a pneumatic staple gun.
Your staple gun should be hooked up to an air compressor set at 80 to 90 psi.
A flathead screwdriver, some 1/4-inch staples, and a razor blade to do some fine trimming at the end. The first thing you're going to want to do is take the front of the seat cover, hook it over the front of the seat, and line it up. Get it nice and straight so that your seams are centered on the top of the seat. So once you have the front hooked on, centered, grab it with one hand, take your staple gun, and shoot 2 staples into the front of the seat cover, holding it on. Now that you have the front secured, we're going to flip it over to the back. Center it as you pull tight to the back. You don't want to have any slack here, but you don't want it to be pulled too tight. Our gripper material is 2-way stretch, so it'll stretch a little bit, but you don't want to overstretch it to where it rounds the shape of the ribs. So nice and tight to the back, center it, get those seams where you want them. Flip the seat over, hold down on the seat, cover where you want to put the staples, and shoot about 2 or 3 staples into the back of the seat cover. So now I've put 3 staples into the back of the seat. We're lined up nicely from front to back. It's nice and tight here. Now we're going to start down here at the sides. So about halfway down the seat, center the seams and pull. Use your thumbs to pull the gripper down to each side. Once you have a nice tight grip, flip the seat over, and you want to shoot 1 staple on each side. Now that we put 1 staple on each side, we're pretty much on center. We're going to work the fabric down each side of the seat cover all the way to the front and then all the way to the back, working out the wrinkles with our thumbs. And we're going to work our way up each side, shooting about 2 staples in each side every 1/2 inch to 1 inch along the bottom of the seat. Use the tip of the staple gun to push the fabric nice and tight as you shoot a staple in. And you should be putting about 2 to 3 staples in each side as you work your way up and down the seat cover. That way you stay lined up and centered and you don't work too far one way. So I always like to flip the seat cover back over, check my work as I'm going, and make sure that the front center lines are centered on top of the seat cover as you work out these wrinkles with your thumbs. So I'm going to use my thumbs to continue working out the extra fabric as I flip the seat over and shoot a couple staples in each side as I work my way up. So now that I have staples about every 1/2 inch all the way up the front of each side, we're going to go ahead and work our way down the back side of the seat cover now. Doing the same thing, making sure you stay centered while using your thumbs to work any extra fabric to eliminate the wrinkles all the way from the center to the back. There. Whammy. We are pumping. And all the way back, we are double checking to make sure that we're staying nice and straight. And if you start to notice that when you're installing it, one of your seams is starting to shift one way or another, maybe pull a little bit extra tight over here to the other side and shoot a couple extra staples. Or if you need to, you can remove a couple staples with your flathead screwdriver and go back, straighten out your lines, fix them up. You don't want the lines to be curvy. It'll throw off the sexiness of your seat cover. So we're gonna keep working our way back down to just the last bit here. So now when you get to the tail end of your seat cover, you'll start to notice a little bit of extra material bunches up like this. So this is where you'll put a few extra staples in, almost overlapping, but you can't shoot staples on top of each other. So you could just kind of butt them up next to each other as tight as you can. And you don't want to see these wrinkles in the back. So as you get to this back curve, pull the material that's a little bit extra that we provide for you on the ends here, wrap it over the edges, and use a few extra staples to work out the kinks here in the seat cover, so that the only wrinkles you see are under the seat, which you can trim off later. Now that that side's nice and rounded out, flip it over and do the other side. And so we grab the extra fabric on the bottom of the seat, pull it up and over, use the tip of the gun to push down, and we're putting staples a little bit closer than we would the rest of the seat to get these wrinkles to sit flat. I'm gonna do the same thing just back here. Get these wrinkles pressed out, pull tight with that extra fabric we provide you. And again, we'll trim this off when we're finished, and that looks pretty sweet to me. So now we've got all of our staples in. It's nice and straight, it's tight, no wrinkles, no gaps. And let's go ahead and trim off the extra fabric on the underside using our razor blade. Be careful not to cut yourself, and be careful not to cut inside the staple lines. You only want to touch this blade to the fabric outside of the staple line, the extra fabric, or you could ruin your seat cover. Ah! Very, very careful with this blade. Trim nice and evenly, smooth. Careful, 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 careful. Best tip I can give you, use a new blade. Don't use a rusty old blade. Nice and nice to this material. And that is how you successfully install a Thrill Seeker seat cover.